Hey folks, Church Safety Guy James here. Wanted to take a moment and do a quick video. And at the moment, I'm only going to post this in the leader group. Maybe at a later time, I'll copy it over and post it in the main group. But we had a few folks reach out to us and ask us about doing a broadcast on teams and teams working together. And we will probably next season, we just wrapped up season 14. So probably next season we will, when we resume, we'll do a few episodes on teamwork and working together and some pros and cons and best practices of doing that. But in the meantime, real quick, I do want to just say if you need to reach out to us, you can do that through our website, which is churchsafetyguys.com, or you can reach out to us through the Church Security app, which is free to download, free to register. And we actually just updated. I just updated it last week, and with new content, new information. So definitely check it out. But the thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is a lot of times I have new folks that are trying to set up a safety team, or maybe their team is in its infancy stage. They will reach out to me and they'll say, hey, I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know all of the answers to adequately and effectively run my team and lead my team. And oftentimes folks will reach out and they'll say, my pastor and I were talking about the necessity of having some kind of safety organization or security ministry in our church, and I don't know how to do it. I was voluntold. Or maybe it was, we had this conversation and now my pastor wants me to look into what do we need to do? Like, I don't even know, like maybe I have a background in, public safety or corrections or ministry or something along those lines, but I just don't really know where to go with any of this. And there's always almost a sense of fear that I perceive from these people, that they don't want to instruct folks that are willing to serve incorrectly. They don't want to instruct their church incorrectly, but at the same time, they almost feel like they are inadequate in leading and inadequate in helping. And let me just tell you this, if you're having that conversation, or you've started a team and it's in its infancy stage, you are to be amazingly commended, and spend time working through that, work past that, and realize that if you were asked by your church leaders or your church leadership or a pastor or someone in your congregation to head this up, they have the confidence in you to understand and know that you are not perfect, and that you are going to do the best you can to facilitate an effective and efficient ministry and get it started and get it going. There is always room for improvement. And let me tell you, after doing leading a team for over 15 years, every Sunday is a different Sunday. Every Sunday is new. Every Sunday has new challenges, new opportunities, new things that we have to address, that we have to be flexible on, that we have to, change how we're addressing or how we think about accomplishing success in those incidents. We create policies and procedures as a standard that we can fall back on. But the truth is, every day we go in, it's a different day, and you don't know what you're going to come across. So even after doing it for 15 years, people ask me all the time, well, how can you be so calm and not frustrated and not fearful? Well, first of all, I know my skill set. I know that for me physically, what I'm capable of, what I can handle, and when I need extra help. So I know when I need to pick up that phone and get extra resources, and when I'm faced with a situation that's beyond the scope of my understanding. That's the biggest thing you can do. When you understand where your scope of training is and at what point that incident exceeds that level of training, that is critical to be able to stop and say, you know what, I'm in over my head here. I need to call public safety, or I need to get outside resources in to address this and help me with this. And hopefully do that preemptively, like before you get to the point of saying, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I'm in over my head. But the other thing too is spiritually, I know that was physically. Spiritually, I know that God is not going to give me anything I can't handle. And even in that, in the trials and in the incidents that we deal with, I know that the people that surround me are going to be able to step in and help me where I might have a deficit in my training or understanding. I surround myself with intentionally with people that are skilled in certain areas that I'm not, so that I can rely on them and I can pull them in to support me with the incident and handling the incident in the best way possible, even if it's an area of bouncing something off of somebody. And so let me just say this. If you can get yourself to a place where you understand and you realize your limitations, you're not being prideful, you're not being boastful, you know, this is where my training is, this is the best that I'm going to do and be able to do on my own. And these are the people around me that can support me because maybe they know more and know better than I do in this particular area. Let me just tell you, God will remove the fear that you have. And the last thing that you want to do is show or demonstrate fear to individuals in the congregation, or to individuals not knowing, okay, how do we handle this? It is okay and it is fine to understand and to be in your own mind fearful of, hey, I want to make sure I do this right. I want to do this the best I can. I want to set this up to be the best it can. That's understandable. Where we go sideways sometimes is when, as leaders, when we demonstrate that fear, right? When we're not focused on Christ, when we're not focused on God giving us wisdom and giving us the skills and being confident in the skill set that we have in our training, that we can handle the right situation and know the best way to deal with that, what happens is that impacts the culture. And so if you were able to attend the Texas conference this year, I talked about culture and how important it is in our church today to build a solid safety and security culture, because if you don't build that, that comes from the top down. If you don't establish that culture, the church is not going to be successful. It doesn't matter how trained your team is. If you don't build a solid ministry first, ministry supporting culture within that ministry in the church, that is just not going to be an effective ministry in your church. And so when I say that, being fearful and demonstrating that fear to others creates a poor foundation for that culture. It creates an environment that individuals are questioning, I don't know if this person can actually handle it now, or handle this incident, or handle the situation. Now, you don't always have to know the answer. That's not the point. The point is being able to respond and address it and get the resources that you need to preemptively help in that situation. That's the situation. That's the point where people are going to turn around and look at you as the leader you are, to be able to say, you know what? He knew what the right thing to do was. He was solid in a time of high stress. And when everybody was freaking out, and he is the right person for this job. So keep in mind, when you're trying to set up a team, when you're trying to navigate a topic, it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to say, you know what, I don't completely understand this. Maybe I need to look this up. Sometimes it's okay to say that to the people that you're around, and sometimes you need to use your discretion and maybe just talk to one of the pastors instead of the team and say, you know what, I want to train on this. I want to know this topic better because I feel like I personally have a deficiency in this area, and I want to be able to lead my team better. And I guarantee you, no pastor no pastor in their right mind is going to say, no, don't go do that extra training to lead the team better and to be more effective in ministry. So take care. God bless. I'll talk to you all soon.